Yo, yo, good day to you all. It is almost Christmas time, and hopefully we don't see any bad Santa matches, but I am sure we're going to see a 34th Street Miracle Street Fight or something like that. A Miracle on
That's
34th
actually
Street.
that actually supposed to happen on SmackDown Friday.
Okay, yep, makes sense. Christmas Eve. Hopefully it's decent. And hopefully we don't get to see people hit with like gravy or anything. I hate those moments in wrestling, but it's not going to stop us from talking about wrestling today. Bet you that shit. It will not. Hey, it is time, in fact, to talk about wrestling like nobody else in the
Oh,
world. And to be accurate, AF. We
yes,
see y'all tweets. We see y'all docs. We see y'all articles. We see all that shit.
all that shit.
To be right.
Yeah,
You know? So, hey, man, you know who's right? The first Black Champ podcast. And I'm Cam from the Port.
and I'm Jr. Bang. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download wherever you get your favorite podcast. That shouts out to the Barber's Chair. Happy holidays. We're recording this on Sunday, so between now you're gonna get to Christmas Eve. You're gonna get to Christmas Day next Saturday. So check this out. We're listen to us. Check this out by getting your eggnog on. You know what I'm saying? Spike it. I don't drink eggnog, but to
I don't
everybody
fuck
who
with
do,
that shit either. Hoes,
yeah,
hoes, hoes. Hey,
there
but
you
I
go.
tell y'all what you do. Listen, matter of fact,
What you do?
I got a special, little holiday concoction, if you will.
Okay.
All right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I don't even care if it's with marshmallows or not, but you get your Swiss Miss hot chocolate, right? You get your almond milk, okay? Not water, not cow's milk, okay? Almond milk, maybe the silk. It's real smooth.
Yeah, we got that downstairs.
Bring it to I like to bring it to a light boil. I know you ain't supposed to, but you bring it to a light boil. Throw that in the cup. Then I want you to take in either a blueberry yum yum edible or a green apple, a green caramel apple edible. Dunk that in there. Stir it up again. Let that marinate just a tad. Sip slow. And watch your body just take you to another elevated place of calm for the holiday season.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I definitely recommend just dump one in there unless you know what I'm saying, unless you really want to take there, 10 milligrams and up, you can do that as well. But I am an advocate of just a small amount. Sometimes I put two in there. Though. I ain't gonna lie to you because I know I ain't going nowhere. Like once Layla's taken care of, and she ain't about to hit me up for nothing
Oh
else. I'm like, hey,
man,
you know what? Hey, look, man, let's take it up a notch.
there you go.
That's what I do. So that's from the first Black Champ podcast, man. Little holiday a drink for you. Also, you know this. I'm a fan of the Winter Jack, even though you can't find it. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not even a fan of apple cider like that. But yourself some Jack Daniels, a little apple cider. I say go with a 60-40 mix so it'll really hit hard on you. If you can do like the one block of ice, like the big ass block of ice, do that. Or like a little crushed ice with it, kind of give it that slushy feel to it.
Right.
Also get that. That's for, you should start doing it on Black Friday or no, Blackout Wednesday and let that carry you into the new year. So sorry for giving y'all these joints late, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, first Black Champ cocktail menu. Maybe we'll do that next year for y'all. We'll do like a cocktail menu for the holiday season, so y'all can enjoy your relatives or not
Look,
with how we get.
I'm gonna take your word for it. I just drink tequila straight. Just give me some Aneo, little ice cube, pour that bitch up in there, twirl that motherfucker, and yum. That's
That's it.
it.
Hey, get it done.
Hey, that's it. Get it
Sometimes you
done.
need to get it done and over with.
Yeah, just that's. I ain't gonna say that's all I got to give, but I'm lazy sometimes when it comes to that shit. All right, now before we get started on the wrestling shit, definitely got to talk about what happened last night, what happened on Saturday. Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley got to fight again,
Yup.
again,
I told you,
part
Caleb.
two.
I told you.
2 weeks
I
notice,
told you, Caleb.
2 weeks notice. And this time it was worse. See, in the first fight, people was debating about who won and if Tyron Woodley knocked out Jake Paul but kept him up. Clauses in contracts saying that can't knock Jake Paul out and all that shit,
Mm-hmm.
or the Paul brothers in general, because they said the same thing about Floyd Mayweather and his fight keeping him up.
Yes.
Because Floyd is the one who basically said that, hey man, clause in the contract, let's go get that money.
Right.
Well, Jake Paul was supposed to fight Tommy Fury, the younger brother of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. And he broke his rib and had an infection. So Tyron Woodley was like, yo, let me go ahead and get that get back. Mm-hmm. And he got his ass knocked out in the 6th round last night. And now Jake Paul is 5-0 with 4 knockouts. And also with his knockouts, he's knocked out 2 black guys.
Yeah. Hey.
So my question to you is, has Jake Paul knocked out more black people than you've ever seen from a white person? Personally.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I've never known white people to really knock out black people. You know what I'm saying? For where I'm from, where I've been. I ain't saying it gonna never happen, but it wasn't a common thing. You might get out wrestled. You know what I'm saying? I've watched some white boys take some black dudes down, like, oh, no, you can't. No, man, come on, stop. But I ain't never seen these go up and then the black dude is not getting up. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I will say this though, as we move into 2022, and I've been coming to this revelation too for about a month now too, man. We got to start keeping it real. That probably about 49% of black men can't fight.
Yeah. See, that's one of the reasons why I asked that question.
Yeah.
Because I have not seen a lot of white people beat a lot of black men up, let alone knock them out. See, it's a fight and then it's a knockout.
Right, exactly.
And, with social media, with World Star and things and going viral and everything, I ain't seen, like, there's one shit that happened at a gas station when the nigga was talking about he was from New York or some shit, and it looked like they was in Tennessee, and then the white dude looked like his name was Bradley, beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, yup.
You remember that? You seen
absolutely.
That? And then dude got up like, whoa! Like, he got up like, whoa! So yeah, but in this shit right here, in a boxing, I ain't seen, other than like Tommy Morrison, but I ain't seen Tommy Morrison fight a lot of niggas.
Right, exactly. And I think some of them was decisions.
Yeah, like
most of them was decisions. I want to say those fights, the black dude fights,
knock a nigga out.
Yeah.
Now I ain't never seen a nigga get cleared by Jake Paul clear as many niggas as any in boxing. Like, so now I might be wrong.
No, you're not. And you know what? I want to say this real quick while it's in the front of my mind before I forget again. What I want black folks to do with these moments that Jake Paul's creating. One, I'm going to give Jake Paul's respect because I know how they got into the game and I know what they doing and what they known for. Like, you know what I'm saying? They white boys on YouTube kind of playing around. But yo, after I seen, I think it was Zab Judah and talking about Zab Judah and Mike Tyson talking about Jake Paul, I was like, wait, hold up, let me investigate here. Because they was like, no, like, yo, he got hands. And they was like, he taking this shit serious.
Right.
And I was like, okay, wait, hold up. Because see, that's the thing. You know, we in this world of social media, like we watched this world be created, the world of social media. Like, you know, you and I, Bang, we come from the era where, like, you know, like you really wouldn't pop and shit on Black Planet. but a lot of fights happen like at the club. Like you'd be outside of fucking like Level. I know, shout out to Indianapolis, but like we'd be outside of Nitro and like, oh no, you can really get the shit slapped out of you. You can get beat the fuck up. Like it can go left for you, like on site. And that was literally because something happened during Get Low. and now you like, yo, get off my bitch.
And
then
you might have forgotten about the shit, and then you walked outside, and the other nigga didn't forget.
Right, club punch right to the side of your head, right?
Yum.
So we're from that era, and then we kind of to this era where people just say anything on the internet and think there's no repercussions. And so it's like, you can shoot all the epithets and slurs and all you want. Nigger, I'll fucking kick your ass. Blah, 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 blah. Like all of that can fucking happen. And you're not necessarily privy to meeting that person in real life because, he's in Fargo, North Dakota. You in fucking St. Louis, Missouri. Shit ain't gonna crack. But see, now we're bridging the gap. And everybody that's talking about, hey, Jake Paul, I'll knock you the fuck out. Well, now you get a chance.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I ain't going. Because you know what y'all don't realize is that while you think you're just going to be black and jump in here and start swinging on me, I'm just going to get, like, I'm going to just cower, like I'm Remy from Higher Learning. Nah. Like, I'm really on my Jack Dempsey shit. And this could go bad for you. And that's what the fuck is happening. And even though at full transparency, in like around 2005, I was like, yo, man, because I weigh about 100 pounds, I think I'll take a clear shot from Mayweather. I don't think he could knock me out. At the same time, I know I couldn't beat him in a boxing match.
Right, yeah.
I was like, yo, I'll let you try to tee off on me because I don't think you can knock me out. I watched him swing on fucking The Big Show like 4 times and he broke his nose and he got up and ran after him. So I was like, damn. First of all, his head is motherfucking made out of stone. And then second, I was like, damn, yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's still a 147-pound man hitting you.
Right.
That's a 7th grader where we at now in this day and age. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But I'm saying all that to say this. You better make sure your hand game is correct or Jake Paul's going to knock you the fuck out.
And that's one of the reasons why I asked that question the way that I asked that question. Because, I mean, I love boxing. And, like, if boxing's on, I'm watching it. The Zone was one of the biggest inventions for me because, the motherfuckers have a boxing match damn near every week. Mm-hmm. I'm probably the only nigga that I know. So if Swiss beats the Timberland, if y'all hear about this, yes, I subscribe to your Trillerverse because y'all niggas got boxing before verses. And it's like $3. It's like $3 a month. I was like, wait a minute. So they show boxing, and then it'd be like a versus joint.
Yeah,
that's just $3.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck out of here. This is nothing.
Right. Now you gotta know what match Jadakiss watched before.
Man, right. Yeah.
It's like, yo, fam.
So I am a boxing fan. Like, I watched Derek Chisora and Joseph Parker on the Zone yesterday. Now I didn't buy that shit, and I didn't even illegally stream it.
Because it's still mid-tier bum fights.
Yeah, but because it's celebrities, like I did want to see Darren Williams versus Frank Gore.
Yo,
I did want to see that shit. I did because it's like,
help me out. Where did it even fucking come from? Like, do they know each other?
Well, sidebar, Darren Williams actually trains in boxing and MMA. Like, he legit trains and has been training in boxing and MMA. Okay. And from what I got, Frank Gore just started training in boxing and MMA, like a couple of, like, either this year or like last year. But Deron Williams wanted to fight. They found him Frank Gore. Boom. But see, the fucked up thing is that niggas just all of a sudden was like, yo, Frank Gore gonna whoop Darren Williams' ass. I think partly because, one, he's light-skinned, and two, because he's a basketball player. And Darren Williams politely showed Frank Gore last night that I ain't with the shits, even though he said, look, I ain't doing this shit again. I was sloppy. I was disappointed in myself, but also I ain't doing this shit again because I'm tired. Like, yo, y'all thought that Darren Williams was just gonna get his ass knocked out. All the football players was like, yo, he gonna knock his ass out. And I don't think they realized that shit. But we have preconceived notions about light-skinned people. We have preconceived notions about basketball players. Because if you look at the NBA, you see a lot of pushing and stuff going on. But ain't nobody really trying to fight. Ain't nobody really trying. Carmelo Anthony has said, like, during the little tussle and shit with the Pistons and shit. It's like, buddy ass ain't want to fight, but ain't nobody on that team want to fight. Russell didn't want to fight. Carmelo Anthony didn't want to fight. And basketball is the one sport where a nigga really talk himself into getting his ass killed.
Yeah.
Because you talking, but you know you're not gonna fight.
Right.
Like, go watch Fresh, ladies and gentlemen. Because dude was mad as hell. That's what happens in basketball. Niggas ain't gonna fight. They're going to shoot you. Go watch Fresh.
Right, yeah. Fights ain't been a thing. And I'm even gonna take it before Malice in the Past, like a real like, oh, it can happen to you. That ain't been since like 91. Like
shit, honest. Yeah, I give it 91. No, what? No, I'll say 94. Because I think that was the year that the Knicks and the
Hawks, right?
No, not even Heat. No, when the Knicks and because I don't even count that one.
Okay,
I'm talking about when the Knicks and the Suns fought.
Oh.
Doc Williams and Doc Williams, Doc Rivers and KJ got into it, and Greg Anthony came off the bench with the shits. Like
and listen to who you just named, and that's why like there are no
right.
There are no Doc Rivers, like kids from Chicago that are role players that are down for it. There are no, you know what I'm saying? Like guys like that don't exist in the NBA anymore.
Yeah, like I even in some dude pod, I had asked the host Mike B. Well, I didn't ask him. I told him my theory about one of my theories with LeBron and why we don't revere LeBron the way we do is we've never even seen LeBron fight a nigga.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody else we've saw fight a nigga.
Hey, listen.
Mike.
To your
Shaq.
And to your point. And to your point. Mario Chalmers during that timeout. And this is now the quote. They said he told LeBron stop being a bitch and play.
Yeah.
And didn't move.
No.
And LeBron got all out of his body, and he sat there like, this nigga ain't gonna do shit to me. And he really sat there like, no, you ain't gonna do shit to me.
And
fuck you up. Mario
Chalmers is the same nigga when Derrick Rose got injured, shouting him out in GD terms. So
hey, listen, so yeah,
yeah. Like LeBron, we've never seen LeBron fight a punch at a nigga. Mike fought Reggie Miller. Walked up in Xavier McDaniel's face. Mm-hmm. Like head to head, nigga. Like, what up? Yeah. Shaq and Charles Barkley got in the fights. Shaq punched the shit out of Eric Montrose in the face. Shit, Larry Bird did fought a nigga like him, and even though I forgot who it was that grabbed him. And then Dr. J was like, cap. Yeah. You know, Dr. J and Larry Bird and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like, stars fought.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, absolutely. The best fought. Like, you know, not just stars. Yeah. The best niggas fought.
Absolutely.
And then if Allen Iverson.
30.
Yeah, Allen Iverson shouldn't fought because he went to jail over some shit that he wasn't even involved in. Yeah. So we don't need him fighting, but I'm sure he would have.
Right.
You know, LeBron James was like, oh, man, see, he mad as hell. See, there you go right there. You know, he never did that. So in the NBA, like, you know, especially during this time where now you fight a nigga, you get suspended for like 5 games or some shit. Like,
yeah, right.
You know.
The fights that Bang was just listing, those are like flagrant ones.
Right. And they only got suspended like a game if they did get suspended. Because I think Mike only got 1 game. And Reggie only got 1 game for fighting each other. It's like, nah, we can't have them niggas out for 2 games. Right. I say all that to say this. It's preconceived notions.
Oh, yeah.
Of basketball players. It's preconceived notions of white people.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people are looking at that fight yesterday and saying that fight was fake because a nigga got knocked out by a white dude.
That's what
and I really want to know where that comes from. Is that just a simple case of ain't no white dude gonna whoop a nigga ass? Because Tyson Fury beat the shit out of Deontay Wilder in Black History Month. Deontay Wilder came down with that big ass suit. He came down there, you know, with Martin Luther King and other Black history figures on the wall and silhouette and shit. And I forgot who sung the national anthem that day. He hit us with the on this day shit, and he
It was
was really,
Tyrese, wasn't it?
I think it was. He hit us all with that shit, and he perceived to get his ass beat from pillar to post by an English dude, not even just a white dude. He got his ass beat by William Regal.
Right, I was gonna say, like,
And then got his ass, and then niggas start going on the internet saying all his gloves was tampered with and all of these shits. And Deontay Wilder was like, oh, got my excuse. Can't get whooped by this white boy.
yeah.
And then he got his ass whooped again, in a more triumphant showing, because he was like, yo, I'm never going to give up. I'm going to go out on my shield, but he still went out. So it's like, man, like, do black people think that the only way we going to lose to a white person is if they give us some money?
I mean, I think that there's a very loud and even majority. I can even call the minority that believe that. And you know what? Hey, man, listen, man. We black excellence. We pro black. You know what I'm saying? We ultra black, like Nas and Hit Boy, man. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But again, man, just because you're big and black don't mean you can fight. Like you really and no matter what you see on your screens, right? Understand these people are professionals. I mean, well, you know what? I'm not gonna put Jake Paul in the professional boxer like realm just yet, because until he has a WBC fight, I don't want to hear this pro shit.
Right.
Personally. But however, though, he's building the road. Matter of fact, my guarantee that has nothing to do with wrestling. And I said this last fight, I was like, Jake Paul is going to keep making y'all laugh and keep beating up people of color to the WBC. That's the plot twist here, ladies and gentlemen, because he's this white boy on the internet that y'all don't take seriously. Everybody black with triceps think that they can knock him the fuck out. He's going to keep taking fights because he was like, well, I'm learning how to box for real. I don't know what you're doing over there. You're just thinking that, you being
can fight
American.
You can fight because you're a nigga.
Right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you keep thinking that's going to be enough. And I'm just going to keep boxing. Like, for him to land a punch like that in the 6th round means he trained for twice that amount of time. Like, his arms didn't look spent a minute when he delivered. It didn't. So y'all gonna keep doing this. And granted, like I said, it's still mid-tier bum fights because he's not against other pugilists. He's against other people that have known to be pretty decent with their hands also. Like, not even like he ain't even knocking out retired boxers. Like, he's just mixed martial artists. And again, I'm not shitting on them at all. I have respect for both worlds. But here's the deal. Eventually, Jake Paul is going to put himself in great prize fighter position. And then he's going to start becoming the standard. And then the WBC is going to come knocking at his door because he's going to conveniently put himself into people paying to watch him lose, much like we did Mayweather for about 15 years. And the thing is, even in a loss, it's going to work out for him because his resume will always dial back to, but you average motherfuckers can't whoop me either.
Right. Right. So, yeah, it's like, man, I mean, I guess it's fucked up to say, but Jake Paul is turning into the white Jack Johnson.
What? Hey, man, listen, man.
I don't want no nigga to fight him no more unless it's a legit fighter.
Yeah.
Like, go fight a Mexican.
Word. But see, they know they have the weight class. You know?
Yeah.
that's the thing. They have the weight class. It's interesting.
Like, the only Mexican, I mean, I ain't saying they're the only Mexican that could beat him. But like, the only one that I know that could fight around that weight class is Canelo, because he want to fight at cruiserweight anyway. Like, Jake Paul is 192.
And I'm so glad you said that, because honestly, I wouldn't be surprised by 2025. We get Canelo versus Jake Paul.
That's what he wants.
And because no way, I don't think there's any way Canelo's going to take the fight without him fighting like of the real boxers.
Unless he know how to like. Okay, this motherfucker serious because I kill him right now.
Yeah, right. And factual. It's like, yo, fam, I'm sorry, we gotta detain you. You shouldn't have did that.
Right, you shouldn't have did that.
It's a wrap. I was like, even if he went the route of boxing to Andre Ward, who's I think fully retired now, though, right?
Yeah, he said he ain't coming back.
So even if Andre Ward wants to get out his body and be like, yo, no, fuck that. We can't let him disrespect the sport of boxing like this. I'm coming back for one night only to box dude. I think even just after that, even the fight with Andre Ward, I think would warrant more eyes and ears to be like, oh, wait, hold on, man. This motherfucker, hold on, man.
Motherfucker ain't playing.
I think he's trying to, like, box. You know what I'm saying? But, like, it's got to be something like that. Either somebody semi-retired, fully retired, but young, or somebody just somebody up and coming like him who might be, like, 12-2, but got more boxing commission experience than Jake Paul does. Like, he got to drop a couple people like that for Kevin Owens to be like, okay, hold up. All right, fam, hold up.
Like white boy series. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. All right, you know what? Oh, he ranked 17? Oh, okay, bet. Run that shit.
But yeah, he got to fight a Mexican now. I'm tired of Jake Paul fighting black people. He has to fight a Mexican or he needs to fight a white person. He needs to stop fighting us because he's fighting the wrong versions of us. I think Tyron Woodley has embarrassed St. Louis. He's embarrassed Ferguson. Because them the type of niggas that don't want to lose to a white person, man. Especially in Ferguson. Like, if nobody in Ferguson wants to lose to a white person unless it's a white person that they know and cool with.
Yeah, man. Like, my brown daddy calling.
Yeah, like you can't lose to a white person like Jake Paul. You gotta lose to like the dirty white boy. You can't lose to somebody that makes a living like off of YouTube. He makes 10-20 million off of YouTube. You can't lose to that guy. Mm-hmm. Like that's like you go back home and you in violation. Man. I don't make the rules. Mm-hmm. But if I lost to a white dude named Otto, like I get my ass whooped by a white dude named Otto, I guarantee you when I get around my family, they're gonna be like, man, I'll whoop your family's gonna test you. Mm-hmm. Like I think that's the underrated part about black people losing to the wrong people. Because your friends and your family will officially test you. Yeah. They will officially test you because they're gonna think you're a whore.
Yeah.
They're gonna think you weak.
You all on my shit. We family. You didn't knock that white boy out like that. You didn't knock our ass out like that.
Yeah, and I don't want to
trying to hit on him like that. You couldn't get the punch off.
Right, like you let that white boy knock your ass out. We have to throw some water on you. We don't even know where to get smelling salt. We got some real salt and rubbed in front of your motherfucking nose and shit just to try to get your ass to wake up. Out here getting your ass whooped by a nigga named Otto. Fuck out of here. So yeah, so I want to get your thoughts on that before we get to the nuts and bolts. But before we go, what you got?
You know what? I had to start real quick. This is how my mind works. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? You know another great that never fought? Matter of fact, he was a victim.
No.
R.I.P. Kobe Bryant. But this is the same year.
Well, does the chick Chris Childs thing fight count?
You hit me twice in the face. It's a fight.
Yeah, he tried. He ran after him. Like I've never seen LeBron run after a nigga.
Oh yeah, no. Well, no. See, but this is all falling in that same period of time, like what, 94 to 2000, because it was the shadow slap boxing match with Zoe and LJ.
Yeah,
and then there was the Chris Childs 2-piece.
Yeah,
but see but that's the changing of the guard. And I'm not saying that Kobe Bryant probably wouldn't have fought, because there's a story, and I think Steve Stout told it about.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was Bryant coming with the hammer on him at the club.
Like he was ready. He was semi ready at the club. Like basically what happened is it was some dude that was somebody in New York, and Kobe was like, I don't give a fuck. Like Kobe is the clueless black dude that don't care who you are, but he also know he can go. That's why I think the Chris Childs thing. He would have fought Chris Childs if nobody grabbed him. Especially after you get 2-piece. Like, if somebody asks Kobe Bryant about the 2-piece that Chris Childs shit, he'd say, wow, it's water under the bridge. I would love to get my shot back. I don't. There's no way around it. I think he want to get a shot back. But LeBron, I ain't never seen LeBron run after somebody, let alone like even when the shit with Draymond Green happened.
Oh yeah, yeah. See,
And apparently Draymond Green called him a bitch, and LeBron's response was, "Yeah, like I'm a father of two. Like, man, don't. I'm a man. I'm a father too. You don't call me no bitch." He's like, yeah, you still a bitch, and that's his man's. Like, they're cool.
Right.
That's like
and that's the problem.
Right, and we know, right, because we know. Look, you my man's and all, but the day you call me a bitch, we're fighting all day long. Because I know none of us is gonna want to give up. Yeah. Because also it's like somebody just gonna have to sit us down and be like, "All right, man, y'all stop fighting this shit." Because again, you don't want to lose a fight to your homie. You don't. You don't. Let's be real. I talked about this on some dude. Like, you look at your niggas to see if they could fight. By looking at them to see how they could fight, you size yourself up with your homie. So you look at the niggas like, yo, if it goes down, I need to know they could fight.
Yeah,
but who else? You not gonna size them up with a random nigga in the club? Yeah. I could probably whoop dude ass, or man, we gonna be fighting all day, or
it might be a draw.
It might be a draw. Like, he might get me here, but he might get me there. It's never. It's only one of the two. It's either tie or I will whoop his ass. So then if you whoop your friend's ass, y'all really can't be friends like that. You seen that in person. That was a mistake I made. It was a mistake I made.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
I mean, I'm talking
decision or an educated decision that in disguise.
No, I'm talking about the rejoin. Because you really lose, because you really ain't got no respect after you choke somebody up. And then, like, it's like, oh, fuck. Because then you think.
It was at that moment, I was like, yo, if we fight in the studio, ain't nobody going to grab me now. That's what my thought was. I was like, I can swing this nigga in his house, and this nigga's not going to do nothing to me. So I'd be like, yo, no, you choked this nigga a year ago.
We gotta move.
That's why I came over. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I came over. Because I was like, yo, because if he say something to me now, like, I could swing on this nigga. I know Roger's gonna just sit there like, damn, this nigga crazy. I was like, the only person I was worried about trying to stop me is the nigga that snatched this nigga up. So now he's not gonna do anything. I'm like, man, no, you know you not to grab me. You know not to grab me now. You know not to grab me. Like, you did. You made. It's okay. So that's why I came over. I never shared that. So this is the first Black Champ exclusive, by the way. They didn't even know I felt like this in 2009. I don't remember. But that is why I came over. I was like, oh, ain't nobody gonna stop me? Because
then if I would have stopped you, like, come on, man. You don't you remember what you did?
Oh, man, that's your Uncle House. What the hell, your Uncle House? In the basement. Grab me.
I know there's people that's listening to this pod currently that's gonna be like, yo, I don't know what the fuck they talking about, but that shit funny.
Man.
So yeah, that.
Know your surroundings at all times. Understand. Read the room. Hey, I was reading the room 12 years ago. I was reading. I was like, oh, bet. I was like, yo, they invited me over here. They want to do that?
No, all right.
I was like, because now this thing get crazy. Oh my god.
Oh man. Oh, my stomach hurt. All right, let's move on to some of the big news that happened in the WWE last week.
Talk wrestling. The biggest Black Champ podcast.
Probably the biggest news, other than what happened on SmackDown, the biggest news that first came out was Kevin Owens decided to return to WWE. For those who don't know, it was reported that his contract was supposed to run out like a week after the day one pay-per-view. Actually, and he had his contract was where he did everything he had to do, and with the re-uppings, the small one he did. He didn't have a no compete clause. So, a lot of fans and a lot of people in the business was wondering, just like what happened with Adam Cole, baby, that, could Kevin Owens just, 1 week be like Monday be on Raw and then Wednesday be on AEW Dynamite or Friday? So, but what ended up happening is Kevin Owens re-signed with the WWE for 3 years, around $2 to $3 million. He talked about how this was very beneficial to his family and everything, and he was comfortable where everything was with the WWE. Now, of course, you had a lot of AEW stands that was like, damn, he was supposed to come up there and rejoin the homies, what I'm saying, at AEW. But he basically chose family over the homies, that bread and that year, because apparently AEW was not going to offer him around that much money, which kind of made me question how much money is AEW really over there throwing around if they can't give that man $2 to $3 million. So, what's your thoughts about Kevin Owens re-signing with the WWE, and how does it look with Kevin Owens in the next 3 years, in your opinion?
Okay. So first I want to say congratulations to Kevin Owens, you know what I'm saying, getting that money, protecting and providing for your family at a
Yes,
high
sir.
level is something that anybody with common sense and real testicles understands. You know what I'm saying? So I will admit I was kind of shocked, but I think when we really look at Kevin Owens' timeline, he's literally one of those guys that, you know what, my dream was to be in the WWE. And unlike many others that made it through the indie circuit and then made NXT and then the main roster, Kevin Owens is, one of the top 5 percentile success stories.
Yeah.
He's been Universal Champion. He's been U.S. Champion. I think has he been Intercontinental Champion?
Yeah. He's been Intercontinental Champion. Feuded with John Cena
You know what
right
I'm
off
saying?
the bat.
Look, feuded with him off the bat. Had a feud with Vince McMahon and the McMahon family. That's
Yeah.
another benchmark too that we don't discuss. Like, yeah, winning titles is great. And main event WrestleMania is great. Don't get me wrong. You get into the business for that because that's still the benchmark. But feuding with the McMahons, and they were decrepit at the time. Like, they old. Like, these ain't the Attitude Era McMahon family. This ain't even WrestleMania 2000 McMahon family. Like, fucking Vince McMahon got sleeping bags under his eyes,
Man.
and he still took a headbutt.
And it's like, didn't he take a splash too?
Hell yeah, and then of course him and Shane back and forth. I think at the end of the day, man, it's obviously a great move for him because of what he signed for. I will admit I was a little shocked because that was the indie wet dream everybody was waiting on. I think even though we said already that Adam Cole going to AEW kind of shifted the landscape and it made the talent level out just a little bit. I do feel like, along with Bryan Danielson, I do feel like if Kevin Owens would have went, I think that big shit gets talked. I think that a lot of people look at AEW in a different light, and I think that people started closing that imaginary gap between the WWE and AEW,
Right.
and now they don't get to, because that one of their darlings, one of the brightest stars of last decade, has re-signed for 3 more years, and honestly, the next 3 years for Kevin Owens, it honestly looks bright. This is another, I think, backlash, not backlash, but another just sidebar of all of the releases. Because when you got a Kevin Owens, there is about 20 people you don't need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you're going to sign him for 3 years, yeah, there are a lot of guys that you don't really need them. And I know that's harsh to say. And even when we speak about, even people like, your Bray Wyatt, your Keith Lee, Hit Row, you know what I'm saying? All those guys who all could all come back within the 3 years that Kevin Owens is still there. So once you're released, it's not forever. Shit, ask Bret Hart. You know what I mean? Like, there's a few people you can ask. Like, once you're gone, it ain't forever. Ask the Macho Man. Well, no, Macho Man was like, "Nah, fuck you for life."
Yeah.
But saying all that to say, um, there is, I think, bigger things happening, and maybe because for the people that love the shit on the WWE, maybe just maybe in these 3 years, Kevin Owens gets the run that y'all think he should have always had in the first place, the one that you wouldn't have day one after he beat John Cena on Raw, and you may be getting it now. So
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think Kevin Owens has the potential to be the biggest face in the company. I think he got the potential to be the biggest heel in the company. You got somebody that is well versed in how to go both roles. Kevin Owens don't mind being a heel. He don't mind being a face. Like, and what I mean by that, I mean taking that role seriously. I had tagged you in a tweet with Bully Ray, Busted Open, was talking about, do anybody want to be heel? Like, he's one of the people that's like, yo, if I'm gonna be a bad guy, I'm gonna be a bad guy. And vice versa. I like the role that they're playing right now with this lying shit. This. Well, I won't say lying. I would say manipulative. Kevin Owens. I like the way that it's going, but I think that the biggest part about this is I love his family. Like Kevin Owens, if you follow him on social media, if you hear him talk, in interviews and everything, he really fucks with his family heavy.
yeah,
So I'm always, as somebody who got 3 of them, you know what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do for family and everything, and put yourself in a position to make sure they straight. Wrestling is a business where, there's people that's 50 years old that's out here still wrestling and doing a good job,
yeah.
I mean, shit, Sting damn near 70, and he still gives a nigga a stinger splash. So, I mean, hey. So, he still got time to go over that AEW. But also, when you look at the AEW roster, like, I think Kevin Owens looked at it and says, like, yeah, I know y'all the hot shit, and I know everybody loves AEW. Well, let me rephrase that, because I have something for the Brian Danielson thing we talk about and everything. But, people say that they love AEW the way that they love AEW, but there's no bigger platform than the WWE right now. So I could do another 3 years, and if everything is still good over there, and I want to make a go of it over there, I could still go over there. So I think he looks at it in both ways. Like, look, like, I'm gonna go ahead and get this money. I'm still high in the card. I'll holler at y'all in 2025. If I want to still do the shit.
Right.
It's also a report out there that's saying that Sami Zayn has re-signed with the WWE as well, which would be interesting because those two are homies. They are best friends. And something had to happen, because even though he's been getting his ass beat, Sami Zayn has definitely been involved with the top of the card with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, Canadian alpha males and all of that stuff. So, if it is true that Sami Zayn is also re-signed with the WWE, what do you think his prospects is with the company?
I think you already said it. They got Sami Zayn with no title, ain't won one match, and they had him talking to extend the storyline between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. I think that is a testament to just how great that he is at just the business of sports entertainment, which we know Vince loves to thrive in. Obviously, you're going to get a great match from Sami Zayn if he's in the ring, right? But, I mean, you even think about it. Even what he did for Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura a couple years ago, that translated into Rick Boogs.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I'm saying? It's and while Cesaro's about to get beat up by his old tag team partner. But I think there's so much value of Sami Zayn in the actual system that there's nothing that he can't do, honestly.
Right.
So I think, and the thing is, when you can absolutely do anything, like both of them can, I think both of them are great in the same aspects. You want to be in a place like the WWE because you know that it's bigger than getting to the main event of Raw or the main event of SmackDown. It's like You getting a big check just for showing up at WrestleMania and getting camera and mic time.
Right.
And that is the bigger picture, ladies and gentlemen. Like, it's not all about 5-star matches. It's not all about being booked as the main event or the opening match. Sometimes just to be there and get that payday while preserving your body for one more day, week, month, and still creating a moment, which the bang is already hammered into y'all heads about. That's what the WWE is about: creating moments, not matches. And I think both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, two guys that sparked this whole indie guys need to be the world champion in every professional organization. I think they're doing the right thing and showing the guys the other route, because honestly, you can take that Bryan Danielson route if you want to, but let's never forget that he almost lost his career and got it back in full for the WWE. And that's why he's even able to do what he's doing now in AEW. If he had the same fate that he had in Ring of Honor, just saying.
Yeah. See, Sami Zayn, I think Sami Zayn is an uncrowned world champion. Like, I think because his character wise and he can go, like, I think Sami Zayn is somebody that could be a world champion. I'm not saying that he's going to be there in his time in the WWE, but he definitely is somebody that can hold one of the titles. It's being reported that on the Christmas Eve SmackDown, he's going to win a chance to go up against Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship at day one, which we ain't seen Shinsuke Nakamura defend that motherfucker, which tells me, guarantee number one, we going to go into New Year with Sami Zayn holding the belt, the Intercontinental belt. When you think about it, it's a belt that technically he ain't really lost and all of that shit. So, we get to go up in there with him as a title holder and shit. And I fuck with Sami Zayn, as y'all can tell, very heavily. That's why I said that he could be a world champion. And when you think about it, like, low key, I mean, I get, what a lot of some of the wrestlers at NXT has done, but I think really people heavily started paying attention to NXT when they start seeing those matches between him and Cesaro. And everything, and Sami Zayn's whole thing about not being able to win the big one, you really started getting invested, and then it led the way we know with Kevin Owens and Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor and all these names, that Samoa Joe, and names after names after names after names after names. So Sami Zayn, I think, has ingratiated themselves within the WWE, the fans, the family, and all of that stuff. So it's going to be very interesting to see how his character is developed in the time that he's going to be there. And again, he's somebody that can fit multiple roles. And with all of the releases, like you just said, it came down, you need people that's going to be able to fill multiple roles. And again, he is somebody who, simply put, can be a heel.
Right. Facts.
He for damn sure can be a face. All right, so let's go ahead and Bobby Lashley. Talk about that real quick, because I do got a question for you when it comes to Bobby Lashley. Now, for those who had watched Raw, Bobby Lashley had to wrestle all of the guys in the triple threat match for a chance to make it a fatal four-way. At day one, went up against Kevin Owens.
Who tapped instantly.
Tapped like, yo, you're not putting me in that goddamn full Nelson. And then he ended up defeating Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins and them was like, yo, we got a plan for you, Big E, to win this joint. Big E was like, y'all don't come out there. They came out there, wrestled both of them. It looked like Bobby was turning a little bit of a face turn or something like that, because the two heels is beating his ass. And then MVP was like, nah, we still don't like y'all, and we want y'all to not like us. So he hit Big E in the leg with the cane, and Bobby Lashley defeated 3 top challengers to now go to day one and make it a fatal four-way. My question to you is, because I don't think Bobby Lashley is winning the belt at day one. Okay. Let me just say that right now. Okay. I don't think he's winning the belt at day one. But if he's not going to win the belt at day one, did he look too dominant in your opinion?
No, because that's Bobby Lashley. And that's the Bobby Lashley people want to see. Like it's interesting. You know, Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley are a lot alike. But you know the difference between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar? I think it's that Bobby Lashley has mastered the part about being very dominant, but unfortunately losing.
Right.
You know, you don't really have to beat the shit out of Bobby Lashley to beat him. You just beat him. But when you beat him, it just looks like you survived.
Right.
It doesn't look like, oh my God, insurmountable odds. Oh my God, I can't believe it. What a stunner. What a you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't this big, you know, fest of like, how in the hell did you do that? It's just like, oh, now you know he tripped. Like, man, if he wouldn't have slipped on that shit, he would have beat your motherfucking ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you used the ropes. Like, even that, he's like, oh, he got caught up in the shit and he fell, like he hit his head. Like, you know what I mean? So, and I think that's brilliant because he's still gonna take pins.
Yeah.
He's still gonna lose matches, but you don't want that beef next week though.
Yeah, I don't want to wrestle him. I don't want to wrestle him again.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yo, he's gonna fuck you up. Like, even when you think about how he won the belt, like smash Drew McIntyre so the Miz can get the pin. Miz tried to run from him. He's like, no, I'm gonna get you. It don't matter if it's today, tomorrow, next week. I'm gonna get you. And he's like, oh, you want your rematch back? Come through. Pull up. Come get it. Come take this motherfucker from me. Big E, same thing. It's like, hey, you know what? And the thing is, it still made Big E look strong both weeks. Because when he cashed in, obviously, Lashley was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, look, the world saw it. You couldn't beat me if I was just standing there ready for your motherfucking ass. And then, even then, winning next week, they both still look good because he didn't have to squash Lashley to win. He just beat him that day.
Right.
And I think that is the great thing about Bobby Lashley. So even if he takes the pin at day one, it's still like, hey man, by WrestleMania though.
Yeah, see. I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Okay.
And not in a bad way. It's I honestly, after Monday, think Bobby Lashley should be the champ.
Okay.
I think Bobby Lashley should win the belt and the face chase him. Now, whether that face is Big E, getting his get back, win a Royal Rumble, or win like a battle royal or get the title shot or whatever. However you get it. Whether it's Big E or somebody you're propping up as the face, I think Bobby Lashley should be the champion going into WrestleMania.
Okay.
Based off of what I saw on Monday.
Okay.
Because he was pretty dominant in winning, and they continue for him to be dominant. Like, he beat everybody ass on commercial break 2 Mondays ago.
Yeah.
Like, beat the brakes off everybody. So he's basically beat 3 men 2 weeks in a row. And then what they're going to fuck around and do between this Monday or next Monday is have Big E and Bobby Lashley in the tag team match with Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. And somebody's going to get their ass beat again. Only for Bobby Lashley to take the pin or Kevin Owens to take the pin at day one for Big E to win the title. Well, keep his title, retain. I'm cool with that because it's a black man keeping his belt.
Facts.
However, what I continue seeing from Bobby Lashley is what we see when it comes to Brock Lesnar. It's the same shit. It's just one's bald and black. And the other's dressed like a GD farmer. Like Hillbilly Jim. Hillbilly folks. That's how
Hillbilly
like
folks.
Hillbilly folks.
That should be the name of the episode. Hillbilly folks.
Yes, it is, yeah. Because I got more hillbilly folks after this. Because that's what he looked like to me. Like, yo,
No,
these
you're right
Hillbilly
though.
folks. So
Like,
they
like
got
he,
the
he
blue.
definitely come down to Big Schmo.
Yeah, yeah. He's one step away from a Duke Deuce entrance. What the fuck? He that close away from that shit.
I
But I say all that to say this shit. It's like I don't want Bobby Lashley to be that dominant and honestly go up against Damian Priest for the United States Championship at WrestleMania. I don't want that. I don't want that. He's shown you now for almost a year and almost 2 years. Because Bobby Lashley held us down during the pandemic with the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
Then he gets the belt. And then the fans come around. And he continues to have the belt. The first match at WrestleMania this year with fans in the building, he defeats Drew McIntyre. He loses the belt in a Money in the Bank type situation. And comes back still dominant. Now he does the thing with Goldberg.
Yeah.
We know we don't have to worry about Saudi Mania 15 because we know what happens there anyway.
Right.
But even in that match, he looked dominant.
Yep.
It's just Goldberg, who should look dominant as well, got his get back. Even though he 50-something. Whatever. So all I'm saying is the only reason why I'm saying he looks so dominant is because I don't think he's going to get the belt at day one. And if he continues to look dominant, where's the payoff going to come? The payoff is not going to come with Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. And I guarantee you, if them motherfuckers put Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley against each other at WrestleMania, motherfuckers is going to go nuts.
Yeah.
And I think they bullshitting by not making that match for WrestleMania. They bullshitting because GD and Vice Lords have to wrestle each other at the biggest night of the year.
Yeah, it does make sense.
And if Hillbilly folks and Almighty wrestle each other, oh, you got you a match of the century.
Facts.
So make Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley go at WrestleMania. Make that your promotional match, interpromotional match, where you got the Raw versus SmackDown. And these are the two beasts.
Like literally, I want, now that you said all of that, I want them to eliminate each other at the Royal Rumble and it lead to that.
Yes. Yes. But he's going to be dominant, lose to Big E or Seth Rollins, and he's going to beat everybody. It's going to be one motherfucker who was laying on the ground the whole time and shit. And Bobby Lashley going to go for the pin. Seth Rollins, I'm actually calling my pick right now. So excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. But this is my prediction at day one. Bobby Lashley going to put everybody down. He's going to go for the pin. Seth Rollins is going to go with the curb stomp. And Seth Rollins is going to be your new WWE champion at day one.
Welcome. Yeah. Because Seth Rollins is starting the year as the champ.
Starting the year as the champ. So that's my prediction. That's what I'm going with. We'll talk about more about the predictions for this shit next week. But that's why I'm like, yo, he looks dominant because that, and I don't know if y'all remember what I said last week, but I'm going to say it again. This is where I wish we had a younger Undertaker.
Yeah.
Because I believe that Bobby Lashley is at the status right now that he has that main event without the title at WrestleMania. He's in one of the main event matches. If the Undertaker was still the Undertaker, and let's say, for instance, if this was the Undertaker 10 years ago, him and Bobby Lashley is a dope match.
Yeah.
And better than Mark Henry versus the Undertaker.
Yeah. For sure.
But who's going to be the person that's going to give Bobby Lashley that type of a match? I don't want that shit to be Damian Priest versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship.
Yeah.
I don't want Bobby Lashley back winning the mid-card title. I don't want that.
Yeah, nah. Bobby Lashley is one of those world champs that can't go back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like once Hulk Hogan won the Eagle, You don't want to see him with the Intercontinental Championship.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Same for the Ultimate Warrior. Same for Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Matter of fact, before you even go, in hindsight, we was dumb as hell for thinking Hulk Hogan had a chance to get against the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, no, for real.
It was dumb as hell.
And I hate to admit it, but yeah, I was like, man, when you look at the lead up, it's like, damn, that shit was not gonna happen.
Yeah, title versus title. Hulk Hogan ain't touching the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah. He was like, why does he want that?
Right. Matter of fact, has Hulk Hogan even touched the Intercontinental Championship? Like,
no.
When
he was chasing the honky tonk man, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, I got his belt.
Yeah, damn. Oh shit. Ghetto.
That should have worked for me.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't want that for Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
I don't want it, because then also next thing you know, you got MVP talking about open challenge for the United States champion the day after. I don't want that for Bobby. First of all, I'm tired of them shits anyway. So hopefully just start putting motherfuckers in nice ass angles and shit for your mid-card championship, so you have a good shit. Because somebody said some shit on Twitter and it was 100% right. The last time a mid-card championship mattered is when The Miz had it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ask Daniel Bryan.
There you go.
Bryan Danielson.
Exactly. So unless Bobby Lashley goes up against Damian Priest, right? At WrestleMania, he defeats Damian Priest for the United States Championship. Mm-hmm. Like, unless you're going to have him versus Kevin Owens wrestling for the United States Championship and actually be a legit feud, I don't want Bobby Lashley to be a no motherfucking open challenge giver. No, I'm straight.
On that open challenge thing, I'm First Black Champ podcast, what we do here, sometimes we create scenarios that we love or storylines that we love. And you know what? I would love to see this happen for the United States Championship. I want an American to win it. And then the storyline would be that person with a list of everybody in the WWE. And I want one segment to be like, so man, who should wrestle for the title? And then he'll be like, Finn Balor. He ain't from here.
Man.
What, was he born in California? No, cross him off the list. No, he can't have a title shot. He's not from America. And then he'll be like, you know what? Nah, Dominic can't. Wait, no, but he's Mexican American, all right? You know what? Yeah, you know what? Hey, Dominic, tonight you get a US title shot because you're an American, and I want an American to try to take it because I'm the ultimate American here. And I'll see you in the ring. And then you pan to him in the locker room. He's like, the fuck? Yo, I need the title shot, though. Like, yo, let's do it. And that's the setup. Instead of this bullshit ass open challenge where like it's already predetermined, turn into a full storyline. Like I do want like Cesaro to be disqualified. Like, no, man, you from Switzerland. Why do you even want this? Like, you can't wrestle for it. Nope.
Unless, and even to add to what you're saying right there, then even if you add a motherfucker, be like, yo, but now my residence in, so a motherfucker be from like coming down the aisle from Switzerland, but now making residence in Calabasas, California.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, oh, okay. Because I used to love it.
A little spin on it.
Yeah, because I used to love it when D'Lo Brown used to come from every goddamn city in Europe and shit, from Helsinki, Finland, like.
Yeah. He was like from Istanbul. He was like, I am the European champion. And it was like he was from Istanbul 1 week, and then he was from fucking Rome, Italy. It was like, okay, like done the whole circuit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's how you pick up the Intercontinental title too.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't want that. Even though my prediction for WrestleMania is Austin Theory versus now Damian Priest. So yes. Okay. I am now off of the Damian Priest winning the Royal Rumble train.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I am now off of that, and I got Austin Theory versus Damian Priest for the U.S. Championship, because they're gonna do something with Austin Theory. Mm-hmm. Like, Austin Theory right now is the new Drew McIntyre, and what I mean by that is when Vince McMahon said that he was the
future
like
of
the
the
future of the
WWE.
WWE and shit. Like Austin Theory is pretty much that role. I just hate that he do the selfie shit. You know, it's kind of like they got Austin Theory playing the dumb jock role. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, I get it, but nah, we don't have to give him the dumb jock role. You know, but it's working for him. You know, go ahead and get that money. But I say all that to say, like, I think there's many things to do, but because I don't think he's gonna win the championship, and I don't see that massive match that he should be involved in at WrestleMania. I don't want this motherfucker in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I do not.
Yeah. Nah.
I want him in a high quality main event match at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And I don't want him to be so dominant. And then the first day of the year, he loses and we don't see him in that position. So that's why I disagree with you.
Okay.
I understand, but I only disagree with you from the standpoint of, man, these motherfuckers gon' have him do some dumbass shit. All right, man. So the biggest story, however, that happened during these shows, and man, that was a nice one last night. Well, the night before. Mm-hmm. Roman Reigns was a little bit upset at Paul Heyman, you know, the wise man, the council, the special counsel, at how he was basically still looks like doing some shit with Brock Lesnar. Called himself the advocate and shit, and then next thing you know, a switch went up in Brock Lesnar's head, and he whooped everybody's ass. Mm-hmm. So in Chicago, on SmackDown, on Friday, Roman Reigns comes in the ring with his cousins and, you know, explains how he still hates his cousin, see his cousin lose, but that's family, we'll get over it. But Paul Heyman, we ain't blood, you ain't blood, proceeds to ask them the questions around Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman says he's not protecting you from Brock Lesnar. He's protecting Brock Lesnar from you. Mm-hmm. You know, and proceeds to fire Paul Heyman as his special counsel. And I have a guarantee prediction for day one with this too. But he ends up Superman punching Paul Heyman. Mm-hmm. Looks like he's about to give him the concerto.
Oh yeah.
So see that, you know, Roman Reigns taking the concerto from Edge. Mm-hmm. And then from there, Brock Lesnar comes, whoops Jay's ass, takes a super kick from Jimmy, whoops Jimmy's ass, takes about 5 to 6 chair shots from Roman Reigns, whoops Roman Reigns' ass. Yeah. And now I'm interested. Okay. I told y'all last week I wasn't interested in this shit. Now I am interested to see how this is going to play out. Your thoughts on the end of SmackDown on Friday?
It was time. That's my complete thought. It was time because obviously, we even talked about it on the show. The loomings of, is this getting stagnant and what does this mean? Nobody really wants to, even though face Brock Lesnar is over. The talking is better now than it was any other time of his career. I'll give him that.
Yeah, because the Canadian alpha male shit is forever funny.
Yeah, and I think that this is the. I think this is the. It's just the right move. I can't say that I am more or less interested because I had Brock Lesnar winning anyway. It's just that now we might get some more entertainment getting to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's one of those things where is, you know, as they tell you, I think it is in the 4 agreements, like, you know, don't get too high, get too low on this. You know, this is just what it is. Just digest it for what it is. And I do like that, you know, again, Roman Reigns ass whoopings don't know any boundaries. You can get your ass whooped if you my cousin. You can get your ass whooped if you are a friend of the family, and you know, you can get your ass whooped because you come back and you talking shit.
Yeah.
like about how I'm holding it down. Like it really doesn't matter. I like that aspect of the tribal chief character. It's like, no, you know what? I want y'all around, and I hope we can succeed together. But I'll whoop your ass if that's what it takes.
Man.
and Paul Heyman is just another one on the list. Like, yeah, hey man, look, man, I appreciate you. I'm gonna fuck you up, but I do appreciate this. And so yeah, man, it's about time. I like that where this is going.
Yeah, I saw that last night, and I don't think they did it too late. I don't think they did it too early. Mm-hmm. I think they did it just right because you got go home show shit. I think you got go home show shit. That we gotta look at now. Mm-hmm. I think it's not like Paul Heyman was the reason why Roman Reigns was winning titles. Right. He was the reason why he was getting heat.
Yes.
He was the reason why he was getting heat. Mm-hmm. And now he doesn't need that.
Right.
My thing is that you now got two faces. Like you now got two. You definitely have two faces right now. Because Roman Reigns is a face. Now, I don't give a fuck what they want us to think. But Roman Reigns is now reaching that level of, we like him anyway. We'll just boo him when he says some foul shit, but we want him to win. Mm-hmm. And now we get Brock Lesnar too. So it's definitely on some mega powers collide type shit. Mm-hmm. Is the basic way that I would put it. But I have a guarantee though. And okay. I think I wouldn't call it a guarantee. I have a prediction that I would love to happen. Now walk with me here, Kim. Because this is where shit gets interesting. Mm-hmm. I think you still need a special counsel for Roman Reigns. Mm. You still need somebody to hold his belt for him when he comes down the ring. You're going to need somebody to do business for Roman Reigns at this time. So it's clearly, well, I'm not going to say clearly, unless this is a setup for Brock Lesnar to think that his homie could be back on his side. Mm-hmm. Then you got that one thing. But I think it's time for a new authority figure in the place of the special counsel to hold it down for Paul Heyman, who's going to be the special counsel, well, the advocate for Brock Lesnar. That man, ladies and gentlemen, in my guarantee prediction, the reason why Roman Reigns will retain his title at day one is because he will get assistance by no other person than Adam Pearce.
Okay.
Adam Pearce got his ass beat by Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Got him a little spook. Grabbed him, put his neck in his hand and picked him up, all that shit. Mm-hmm. F5'd him a couple of times. Yeah. Adam Pearce has had his disagreements with Roman Reigns, but his disagreements with Roman Reigns is nowhere near the shit that he had to suffer from Brock Lesnar. Yeah. My prediction is Paul Heyman, because also remember, Paul Heyman and Adam Pearce had a little bit of friction.
Yeah.
So my prediction is that Adam Pearce is going to be down there. Paul Heyman is going to try to insert himself into the match. And then Adam Pearce is going to insert himself on Paul Heyman. And then Brock Lesnar is going to look shocked, like, what the fuck? And then the family is going to proceed to whoop Brock Lesnar's ass and win the match at day one. Therefore, making the match not clean enough to get rid of this. but also giving us a chance to continue the storyline. And if we are supposed to get Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, you have an authority figure on both sides. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns on the other. And we have ourselves a continuation and the feud, a new character twist to Adam Pearce. Sonya Deville can become the full-time authority figure on Raw and SmackDown, or you can still have Adam Pearce as an authority figure for Raw and SmackDown, but still helping out Roman Reigns. Almost kind of making him corporate, but not corporate. And we still get what it looks like they want us to get is Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in Dallas. If we're not getting The Rock and Roman Reigns.
Right.
Thoughts?
Makes a whole lot of damn sense. Even though, and I think I've said it before, but the way all storylines are being presented now is just impossible. I wanted one of the actual bloodline family members that are women to join this fold. You know, that was being specifically Tamina or Naomi or Nia Jax to set up the whole Rock angle. I was hoping for that, but not going to get that, at least the way they have this all set up. So I'm down with the Adam Pearce move. And you're right. It does make complete sense. And if even though I didn't see all of SmackDown this past week, it's obvious that Adam Pearce is making a turn. Not that he was really like for the people anyway, but now he picking sides.
Right.
And the fact that he is taking the route of picking sides, that makes this very viable. I mean, really, I kind of feel like you wrote this, like you wrote the Cody and Dustin shit 2 years ago. That's kind of how I feel. If I'm being honest. So, like, I don't even think that's a guarantee. I think that's the layout. I think that's the script layout.
Like it makes sense and it makes it obvious to me. It's like Adam Pearce is going to get into it with either Drew McIntyre or Brock Lesnar. Yeah. One of the two. But I just see it as Hillbilly, folks, because he got his ass beat and then they said he was coming back. So he probably even feels like, yo, y'all ain't even hold me down like y'all should hold me down. I'm gonna make sure buddy over here do that, and I'm gonna be his replacement. We'll see what happens. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time one of my predictions come true. It wouldn't be the first time that one of them didn't come true.
Right.
I mean, look. Shouts out to Chris from Three Rings podcast. He put up an article in the Some Dude Pod group where like some guy was saying that from one of the dirt sheets, I think it was one of the dirt sheets, I can't remember which one it was, but how they're talking about, you know, reportedly The Rock is looking to buy the WWE. And I know it came off of the heels of that picture with Nick Khan and Nick Khan's sister. I don't think nobody knew that Nick Khan and The Rock and Nick Khan's sister was best friends in fucking Hawaii, right. And all that shit. I don't think they thought that Nick Khan's sister is the person who's the showrunner and the creator of Young Rock. So the connections is goddamn there. Like I just thought like, yo, you know, The Rock trying to buy everything. God damn it. The Rock is really living his the role of ballers that he had on there in real life. Like my man was like, yo, the XFL is for sale. Him and his ex-wife, which it still wows me of the relationship, the business relationship, and what it looks like the personal relationship between The Rock and his ex-wife, Danny Garcia, and that they're damn near billionaires right now. Like together, like like, oh, okay, all right. Now, damn, that I guess y'all are the poster child for divorces. All right, cool. But with that being said, like, look, fam, like, she's the head of the table, it looks like, but especially with being the first minority woman to own a professional league, the first woman to own a professional league. I don't think no woman owned a professional league. So like the first minority woman to own a professional league, and The Rock is right there with her. They got the $7 Productions. The Rock tell us every time, you're like, look, I came to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania with $7 in my pocket. Now look at me now. The Rock got his own tequila, so he got a whole bunch of things in place. The Rock is definitely a multi-millionaire. All The Rock needs is a couple of partners, and they can all go in. And like I said on the show, he does not necessarily have to be the majority owner, but he could definitely have a major ownership stake in the WWE and be the face of it. And then, look at his homie Triple H and be like, all right, fam, you back in the saddle. Let's go ahead and get it. Said all that last week, and then we see this article that pops up today. So, thank y'all for listening to First Black Champ. Basically. Make sure y'all rate, like, subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And go ahead and give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts when you are listening to us through the Barber's Chair Digital Network. Go up in there and be like 5-star. Banging, Can't from the show be talking that shit like we always do.
Yeah.
So that's a long-winded way of saying y'all go ahead and do that. Now, but yeah, I am officially interested in that, and we will get into our predictions next week. But if Paul Heyman is back to being the advocate for the former reigning, defending Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, what does that look like for Brock Lesnar, though? Do we want to see more? We've seen more of Brock Lesnar in this past month and a half than we've seen when he was like the champ.
Right.
He popped up on he popped up on SmackDown, and I had to look and be like, yo, did they say he was coming? Because I didn't expect him to pop up like 2 weeks in a row.
Right.
So what do you think where does the storyline arc with Brock Lesnar go if Paul Heyman is placed back in the fold?
Well, to your point, this gives Brock Lesnar the perfect chance to win the belt and not be back to Fastlane, or not be back to Elimination Chamber, or not be back to WrestleMania. So it's like, hey, look, man. So the fourth quarter, you know what? Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. I'll come every week. But once I get this belt, though,
I see y'all ass on fishing.
Fuck out of here. Like, yo, you can still send Roman out. Yeah, I'm do all the shit.
Yeah.
Do it. But since I got Heyman now, he can come out here and hold the belt for me and tell you what I'm going to do to whoever wants the piece of me at the belt.
Man. So if they do go Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, in your opinion, who should be the Universal Champ going into WrestleMania? Because we clearly both agree that these two faces fighting. This is the tweener version of Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, facts. And the interesting thing is here, and the other reason why I say it's about time, but now, as far as the elimination of the council, but here's this. I think it was public knowledge that we were tired of that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. We were tired of Brock Lesnar being entertaining for 4 weeks a year, and that total time ending up being maybe 2 hours. You know what I mean? So I want to see how the crowd reacts to this, because they're happy to see. I think people are happy to see tweener Brock Lesnar solo than they are to really see the advocate get back with the beast. So does Paul Heyman perhaps showing up with Brock Lesnar at day one by his side, does that change the guard? And now people are totally over on the idea of Roman Reigns and the Usos taking this belt by any means? Or do we get into a situation where people are expecting a twist to Paul and Hillbilly folks? I don't know. I think that's the question to be answered in the next two SmackDowns. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I think it's definitely a lot of layers to this. That's why I'm back invested.
okay.
Like, that's the main reason why I'm back invested, because I'm looking like, they can move Adam Pearce over here in his role, because then it continues like the storyline of this dude. Plus I need protection. But yes, every time you see me, hold me. Like, he's one step to being hiding right. And I'm Michael Cole. Like, he's one step. He just ain't said he gonna rate me yet.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it. And then you also got Sami Zayn in the play here. Because I wouldn't be surprised if Sami Zayn enters himself into the equation here. You know, not knowing what side it would be. But it wouldn't surprise me if you see one of those matches where it's a lot of hijinks into it. Like, you know, it's like that CM Punk John Cena match. For the exception of, like, you know, Vince McMahon ain't gonna be walking down like, you know, Alberto whoop his ass. No shit like that. Definitely could see a lot of hijinks in this match, and having multiple people involved, not making this a clean fight, a clean finish, therefore continuing the storyline. So we shall see. Now, the last thing we got on the docket, man, and I know you haven't watched it yet. Winter is coming. I mean,
it's on the way. Literally in like 48 hours too, by the way.
I hope they're not moving. Oh, man, I hope they're not moving.
Oh, that's that one?
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Hell,
Fucked up.
Hell, I hope not, fam. That's a moving van. Shit. All right, so, and I'm mad that you remember that.
Yeah, I be remembering a lot. Right? If you learn nothing else from this episode of the Black Man podcast, you know that my memory is pretty sharp, ladies and gentlemen. Drink a lot of water.
Yes.
All right?
So, man.
Stretch.
So, man.
I don't stretch every day, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't either. Yeah, I don't either.
Incorporate a green vegetable in your diet every single day.
I'm starting to do that now, and I be having my Apple Watch on, trying to see what's popping. All right.
Yeah.
So, man, the last thing we got on the docket today, man, winter is coming. It don't look like it's coming yet because we ain't seen no snow or anything like that on any of our streets. But winter came for AEW last Wednesday. And it was Bryan Danielson versus Adam Hangman Page for the AEW Championship as the first match on the card.
Off the show.
And winter's coming. The first match.
Wow.
60 minutes.
Wow.
They used all those 60 minutes because after the fight, it was a draw. So no clear winner. First off, when you hear that shit, what are your thoughts? Starting off the night, hour long, time limit draw.
Keep in mind, I haven't seen it, but for the space that that company is in, what I'm going to say is, damn, y'all don't trust y'all roster. Damn, y'all don't trust her to throw on a 60-minute match, and it's no disrespect to either Bryan Danielson or Hangman Adam Page, but I don't think Vince would have did that with Shawn and Brett on Monday Night Raw.
Man.
Not to kick off the show.
Nope, because when they did that shit, if I can remember correctly, when they did that shit with John Cena and Shawn Michaels, either that shit was the second hour, I believe.
Yeah. A lot, like, matches like that predominantly reserved for the second and or third hour of a program because it's the build-up. Like, it's the, no, we really gonna do this shit. No commercial breaks. It's going, you know what I'm saying? Oh, no, you stay tuned. And then you guys show the vignettes and them getting ready in the locker room. And, other wrestling's opinions, and the commentary about it. Like, no, we just gonna start the show with this. All right, damn, y'all really didn't trust y'all roster. Y'all really don't trust y'all roster, and I get it. That's my first thought.
Yeah. I'm not gonna front because I was cleaning up. Like, this is how I knew this match was gonna be the last hour. I'm cleaning up. And then all of a sudden, I hear Daniel Bryan's music. I hear Wednesday. It's Wednesday, so you know what that means. AEW Dynamite is here. Winter is coming. And we're kicking it off with the AEW World Championship. I'm like I look, it's like, wait a minute. Now? Like, I even tweeted out, and I think it was Mills or somebody was like, I tweeted out, I said, so what's the reason to watch the second hour? What's the reason?
Man.
Like, fam, I would have milked this shit to the bone.
Man.
Vignette, training vignette, I don't know. Talk like shit. Who you think gonna win? A poll vote? Text Brian to 71007 if you think he's gonna win. Text Paige or Hangman to 71007 to let us know if you think he's going. All them shits. I would have did all of that shit. Then the second hour, we got us a barn burner. But no, it was the first match. Started off slow, but it's an hour match. And we started to feel like, yo, they gonna use this whole fucking hour. Like 15 minutes into it, I'm like, yeah, they using the whole hour. But I'm thinking maybe towards the end of the match, we're going to get the 1, 2, 3. And I think it would have been great, amazing. Even if it was a faulty finish. Even if it was like a roll up with somebody holding the ropes, somebody holding some tights, a disqualification, something.
Right.
Somebody would have been like, yo, the winner is, but still your world champion. Or, shit, get Daniel Bryan the belt. Because when you got Fox News talking about your ratings now and how they may have plateaued.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they got that joint now. Like, oh man, these ratings ain't going the way that they probably want them to go. It's going like it's decent, like it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But matter of fact, shouts out to Through the Table on Instagram. You know, the Jacksonville Jaguars owner Shad Khan and Tony Khan, owns AEW. But the Jaguars got their own little issues.
Man.
Yeah. They talk about how Dynamite peaked at 1.3 million. Rampage peaked at 1.2 million. But now Dynamite has been peaking at around 900,000, and Rampage has been peaking at about 500,000. Now Tony Khan was a little bit upset at seeing that. Talked about how AEW has been beating Fox News. It's like, okay, nigga.
Yeah, I don't watch the news either, bruh.
Yeah, all right. if that's all, but what about you niggas? Like, then that's how you want to roll with it. But because of that reason, man, I said that I wouldn't mind if Daniel Bryan won the championship.
Yeah, would it spike the second hour possibly?
Then the other part about that is he's the name. One of the biggest mistakes I believe that AEW made with Adam Hangman Page is not having him chase Chris Jericho. for that belt. Because
Make
then you
this moment mean more.
because you could have made your already groomed, like, we gonna make you a champion. That shit at the beginning of AEW, like, you could have did that shit then. I don't think Kenny Omega had to beat Chris Jericho for the championship. I don't think, Mox, because Chris Jericho was the first, Mox is the second one, and Kenny Omega is the third. I don't think Mox had to be a champ. Nope. And prayers go up to Mox. Hopefully he's getting his thing situated.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I don't think that Kenny Omega had to been your third champion. Your second champion could have very well been Hangman Adam Page, and you would have built yourself a star. And I think what they did was go to the ready-made people a little bit too early. Understandable, but you didn't build the talent that you got there. And now you're looking at the people who are leaving NXT and WWE to try to move the needle for you. And it's clear that the only person that has done that is Punk. But that hasn't been since his debut on Rampage. Bryan Danielson or CM Punk is not the champ. And what did I say when CM Punk came on board? The only way this really works, the way that they wanted to work TNT, is that CM Punk needs to come in and become your champion. That shit needs to happen like Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan Bash at the Beach. First match of Hulk Hogan's WCW career, he wins the world championship. He could lose it. But coming in, you have to put him in a main event type of match. That ain't Darby Allin. Darby Allin.
No. Listen, you're right. You're right. Listen, man. Again, this is the curse of trying to book 5-star matches. This is the curse of the green ribbon era, trying to give everybody their turn. This is the curse of booking matches instead of moments.
And before you even go, this is not even Daniel Bryan's first time limit draw in AEW. Because the Kenny Omega match was a time limit draw.
So literally, that's, to me, that's Mr. Khan saying, oh, y'all don't care who win. You just want to see wrestling. All right, bro. You got it.
I truly think they could have did all that shit that they want to do. Build a motherfucker. And give you what? Like, this is MJF should have been a world champ. In my opinion.
Bro. We should be talking about, when we talk about heel world champions, we should have been talking about MJF long before the tribal chief character got started.
Man.
Like, and this is where I'm just going to give, again, I'm going to give Roman Reigns his flowers, because Roman Reigns strikes me as a person that surveyed the entire game, not just the locker room. He was like, oh, so they just going to run with Jericho and this Painmaker thing and respect the Jericho. I could do something a little different than that, because he over there. Jericho's just over forever just because it's Jericho. And he was like, yo, we haven't had a monster heel that dominates with the title. And if they're not going to do it with all this young new talent, with this guy that's clearly over, that's even treating kids' lives at autograph sessions, now I'm going to do it. I mean, I'm just getting into his own personal psychology, because I think, because he had the extended time off because he was like, fuck COVID. And I think he watched everything. It was like, oh, well, they're not going to pull the trigger on that? Bet. Okay.
Look, I think, for what it's worth, for what it's worth, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't want no AEWite to think that I'm to come on here and think that I'm shitting on AEW. Because that match was the best match that I seen in 2022. 2021.
Okay.
That match was motherfucking amazing. If they had to do match of the year votes over, you would. You would. Because that to me is easily the best match of 2021.
Wow. Okay.
But because this is first black champ, we do these things and we say these things and give you analogies that our listeners and niggas like us can understand. AEW didn't do no foreplay to get this match started. No foreplay. They went straight to fucking. But the problem with that is, because there's no problem with going straight to fucking.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do it for 60 minutes.
Yeah. Walk in, pull out, put in, pump hard.
Not for 60 minutes.
Yeah, not for 60 minutes.
Not 30, 15,
Yeah.
10.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to do it for 30. I ain't going to front.
I was going to say, I was about 17 to 24.
Yeah.
17 to 24 in the first round. That's plausible.
Yeah, because then if you watch the match, you'll understand what I'm talking about. The match started off slow. So this wasn't even a Gonzo type situation. It wasn't that. It wasn't like they came in and just was like, you started off slow. Some drop toe holds, some hip tosses, some headlocks. The crowd slowly building into it. No, you gonna do that? You gotta eat some pussy first.
Word.
Kiss some necks, bite some necks. No, that type of shit. No, we have to slide on in. So what you did was gave us a match with no payoff. And we know how AEW is about rematches. This match will happen, and then next thing you know, they have a new goddamn challenger for the belt. Why? Because they didn't do no rematch with Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson. You went straight there to Adam Hangman Page. I don't know who's number 2 in the rankings, but I'll just throw out a name. Now we're going to fuck around and have an Adam Hangman Page versus Miro for the championship. It's like, wait.
Well, because he lost in the tournament.
Yeah.
So that makes him the number 2 contender.
But then you look and you like, y'all guys gave us an hour of them two wrestling. And nobody won. There was no payoff. So the other part of that 60-minute equation is like you came up in there, you fucked hard all night, and you ain't bust.
Yeah, man.
It's like you just fucked off Remy.
It's tragic.
Right, just like you fucked off Remy. And just was like, can't do it, Captain. It's disappointing. Like, it's very disappointing, Cap. You wrestled for 60 minutes, and there was no payoff. There was no exalting a champion or admonishing a new champion. There's no do what I got to do to keep the belt. There's none of that shit.
Damn it.
And then Bryan Danielson goes from face with Kenny Omega, and then heel with Adam Hangman Page, and the same fucking result. The same result.
Yeah.
Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, a dusty finish is needed.
Facts.
Like, you know what? I would have welcomed the Black Scorpion to hit a nigga upside the head. And the other person won. Like, no. And that's my problem with AEW. Because we're going to get this type of finish and we probably don't get no explanation. Because shit, after the match was over, shit, the announcing table was just like, yeah, man, oh, man. It's a great match. Amazing. 60 minutes. Now we got to do this damn Battle Bowl ring funny ass shit. Like, what the fuck? Y'all ain't there's no Daniel Bryan in the locker room. Brian Danielson in the locker room. Brian, how you feel about this? Oh, this is bullshit. Should they like say
so they
shit?
didn't even get post-match?
Not that meant shit.
See, man.
Again, they did not. They did all of that shit and didn't nut. I don't give a fuck how hard the nut was or how weak the nut was. They ain't nut. They didn't even fake it. There was no That's
see. And that ruins the whole AEW is telling great stories argument right there. that ruins it. That ruins it.
like no ass beating at the end of the night.
Man.
None of that shit. Matter of fact, hold on. What was the main event that night? Because that was, I forgot about it because it made me mad. Like, I legit was like, damn, I stayed up for this. Because I watched the whole thing. Hold on. Because shit, that was on the 14th. Oh, there we go. That was on the motherfucking 14th. Like, they had a diamond ring match, fam. Because you know they got
like the Diamond Center.
Yeah, like that damn. These was the matches. Like this is how you might be right, Kent. Because mind you, let me say it again, so y'all just a reminder. The match is probably the best match of the year. But you don't give us that shit. And hopefully there's a rematch. But we don't typically see that. But then after that, you give us Matt Sydal versus Wardlow.
Yikes. Yeah, man. See? You don't trust them.
And
you
then
don't trust them at all.
and don't get me wrong, the match was dope. But then you give us Shahida versus Serena Deeb. And then that's what it's called, the Dynamic Diamond Final. Which is basically the Battle Bowl ring shit.
For bling bling.
And you have MJF versus Dante Martin. And you saw that video that I sent you with Dante Martin. Damn near fucked himself up.
Yeah.
And also here's the other fucked up part of that match. Dante Martin was aligned with Leo Rush. Then Team Taz was like, yo, join us. And then Dante Martin was like, all right, I'm going to join y'all. Only to like 2 weeks later, Team Taz cost him the match.
Oh, man.
And this is the funny business that happened at the end of this match. That would have been dope to have some funny business just to not give us no fucking draw with Bryan Danielson when you already gave us one. So Ricky Starks cost Dante Martin the Battle Bowl ring. I'm going to continue calling the Battle Bowl ring.
Absolutely.
So now MJF is the 3-time Battle Bowl ring champion. So the Battle Bowl ring to MJF is like Dusty Rhodes always winning the bunkhouse brawls. FTR comes down and they celebrate with MJF. Then Sting and Darby Allin comes in and they beats them up. And then CM Punk comes up in there. And now CM Punk made a challenge. So now at all AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash this coming Wednesday is CM Punk, Sting, and Darby versus MJF and FTR.
Hey, man, listen. Man, listen. Y'all gotta make it make more sense. It just has to. But see, again, I go back to wrestling Twitter because this is y'all fault. When NXT and Dynamite were on the same day, y'all kept making comparisons. Y'all kept trying to put the developmental brand versus the network flagship show or the Federation flagship show to make a case of why AEW was so much better than the WWE. And then they just conveniently moved their shit out the way and revamped it. So now you have nothing but your time and attention on what they're doing. And the conversation's been light, as well as the viewership, as we can see. And
so that's
still damn near dying.
Yeah.
and stuff is still not making as much sense as you thought it would. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And that's my thing with AEW. That's my only thing. I get it. I see what's up. I'm not hating the project. I mean, the goal here and what y'all doing. And more important than that, I want to see wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really complain, and I'm really not complaining about what happened there. I'm just saying what I would have liked to see. See, that's the difference. A lot of y'all just complain. Complaining is just woofing about some shit with no fix, no goal, no solutions. Mm-hmm. Like I said, my solution would have been, hey, I wouldn't have necessarily did a time limit draw. I would have did a dusty finish. I would have did a disqualification. I would have did a shit. I would have went with a count out before I went with a time limit draw. A motherfucker like twist their ankle and can't get back up. And I know some people might point to a certain match, but who's the champ here? Adam Hangman Page. Bryan Danielson's the challenger. We don't need a Sting versus Ric Flair here.
Right.
We don't need that because Ric Flair in that Clash of the Champions match, which that draw, made Sting. Bryan Danielson does not need to be made. To keep it a buck, the person who needs to be made here is Adam Hangman Page.
Yep, you're a champion.
He needs to be made. The champion needs to be made. And you know what was happening at the end of that match? You came out of the end of that match thinking that Adam Hangman Page was going to win that belt and win that match and be made by going over on the challenger or putting himself in position to have another match. But it's also, like I said before, you put so much expectation on some of these matches by putting them in specific matches or doing certain things in matches. Well, ultimately, for me as the watcher, it fucks up my payoff. You can't put a motherfucker through a cage match their first match or War Games match their second match, a loser leaves town match that turns into a draw in their third match, a last man standing in their fourth match, but then for the pay-per-view, you do a basic singles match. The shit that I got to pay for. The one joint that I got to pay $50 for.
Right.
It's just a basic regular ass match. But you gave us a time limit draw. Probably give us a submission match.
Oh, of course.
A last man standing match. But then in the pay-per-view, you say, hey, we're going to give you J.R. Bang versus Cam from the Port.
Right. That's it.
And that's it for the AEW. That's it. Why I'm going to pay $50?
Yeah, right.
Where's my anticipation? To your point, second hour, where's my anticipation?
Mm-hmm. Man.
I don't get it. I don't get
Somebody
it.
cue the Booker man soundbite from Brian Pillman, rest in peace.
Booker, man, it's. But with that being said, it's a match that everybody needs to see. If you like that match between Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega, then you're definitely going to love this. And you do come out of the match looking at Adam Hangman Page differently.
Okay.
Differently, but you also look at him differently because he's going against quite possibly the best wrestler in the world.
Right. And that should happen in general.
Right.
But to tell your story for next week, to end the year, in the kickoff 2022, to tell you more, you need to be definitive on how you feel about your champ as he's going into the new year.
Yeah, like that's my issue is a draw is not needed for this shit. A draw is not needed at all for this shit. Now, the good thing about it is, I guess, is since he's 13-0-2, Bryan Danielson is still the number one contender. But then here's my other issue with this camp from the port. So Kenny Omega's going to be out for a while. He's dealing with some injuries.
Yes.
So let's remove him from the number 2 contender. Can you take a guess who would be then the number 2 contender for the AEW Heavyweight Championship?
My guess, oddly enough, I think it's Darby Allin.
No.
No? I mean, just to call back then, because of the tournament, because the tournament was the deciding factor, right? Miro.
Nope.
Oh, shit.
And both of the two guys are not even top 5.
Wow. All right. Well.
I'm going to give you one more guess.
Okay, cool. Well, then, because Heyman Page is the champ. So my God is Spanish God?
No, because he's the TNT champion, so he's a champion, so they don't put him in.
So all champs are just stricken from.
Yeah. They don't do back in the day where the mid card champion was automatically the number 1 contender, but never got a championship.
Or at least in the top 5, he was like, you know.
So I'm gonna go from 5 to 1 here. 5 to 2, because Bryan Danielson is the number 1 contender.
Okay.
Number 5 is Wardlow. He's 14-2. Yep. Number 4 is Jungle Boy. He's 16-3. So I'll just move them up and say 4 is Wardlow, so we're not confused. And number 3 is Jungle Boy.
Okay. Number
2 in this case, with a record this year for AEW, they take down these records at 12-1.
Oh my God, orange.
Scorpio Sky.
Oh wow. Okay.
So what they're gonna fuck around and do is have Scorpio Sky go up against Adam Hangman Page for the championship, lose it. So that's their way of not doing back-to-back matches with Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. Yep.
But that shows you how there's no chance for Scorpio Sky to even have a similar match to put himself in that position.
Yeah, no. That's going to be a nice little 20-minute joint in the Dynamite, maybe third week of January. Over and done, cowboy shit.
So the black man gets fucked here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, but at least he made it past dark.
Maybe you say what?
At least he made it past dark.
He did. Yeah, well, I don't know. They'll fuck around and had a match at AEW Dark.
Like, Hangman had a face to go do
for the first time in AEW history. championship match on AEW Dark. Nah, man. I see that and I'm sitting there like they still, and the thing is they still got Scorpio Sky with Ethan Page and Dan Lambert doing their thing, which I'm not mad at.
Right, yeah, but that's the other reason why you know he's not going to win. He ain't even the top of that cluster. Unfortunately. Dan Lambert should get the shot.
Right. I was about to say, he's the one that's probably at the top of the heap, Dan Lambert. So yeah, man, I want to say this again. I think that match is match of the year if you vote again. If you vote again, that's match of the year.
Okay.
However, ladies and gentlemen, you don't get no type of a payoff. None. And that's Huff. None.
I feel you.
And when I mean by payoff, I also mean payoff by continuing the storyline. To me, a draw only muddles things. Like a draw should come if they've both faces.
Right, I got
that.
you.
If they both faces, oh man, they did it. It's a draw. Not no heel in this situation where these are two established wrestlers, one possibly the greatest wrestler in the world, and Bryan Danielson, and the other one is your champion, and they're fighting at a draw. Nah, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. Just like I said, it's like having hardcore sex and not bussing for 60 minutes.
Hardcore sex, man.
Yeah, shouts to hardcore sex. Offhand or Remy Martin Grand Crew.
Okay.
And it's like then next thing you know, you go home like, man, I did all that damn shit and I ain't bust. Fuck. Now you mad at the motherfucker because you ain't handled shit. Like shit ain't handled the way you want it to be handled. That's how that match was to me. All right, man, before we get out of here, final thoughts, guarantees. Like I said, man, I believe that Adam Pearce is going to be the new special counsel for Roman Reigns. He's going to reveal himself at day one when he cost Roman Reigns the championship. But my guarantee is that Seth Rollins will be the WWE World Champion at day one because Bobby Lashley is going to beat the shit out of everybody. And then when he goes for the pin, he's going to get curb stomped. And then Seth Rollins will become your new champion.
I like it. I missed a lot of wrestling. I've only caught clips and things, so I haven't seen the full show. But I would just want to call back to my guarantee, I think, from last week. See what's happening with Carmella and Queen Zelina? You see what's happening? Ladies and gentlemen, do you see that? Hey, it's all shaping up. Carmella's going to be the WWE Raw Women's Champion. Yeah, it's going to happen. Because right now, she's and I know she'll appreciate the statement said just like this. She's the best looking woman on the roster right now, including the champ. Yeah. Nobody's looking better on Raw week by week with what they're doing and what they're making the most of what they're doing than Carmella right now. So just reiterating. Boom.
Hey, man, I definitely give you that. Well, hey, man, as always, it is great talking to y'all when it comes to this wrestling shit. Shouts out to everybody who's been hitting us up. You know, this went up in the group talking about these last couple of episodes. We've been in our bag, so you already know what's coming up next week, man. Next week, we're going to go ahead and talk about what we... Matter of fact, I do have one question because we got to talk about 2022.
Okay.
But I got a question for you as far as 2021 go because it's Christmas. So we got to get our Christmas joint out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to give a wrestler a Christmas present, if you had to give a gift to one of these wrestlers, who would be the wrestler, and what would that gift be?
I would give Becky Lynch the Alundra Blaze wrestling match box set.
gonna stay shitting on Becky Lynch, boy.
It's
Hey, hey, man.
only because I get it, only because I understand.
Did you see her try to kick Miss the stairs on Raw?
Yeah,
Kick it. Okay. I just want to make sure.
So maybe a Alundra Blaze versus Bull Nakano would help her out.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Hey, man, if I could give a wrestler a gift, what would it be? It would be Omos. I would give Omos the gift of Andre the Giant.
Hey.
Because I'd rather him be Andre the Giant than Great Khali.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, my God. Please, yes.
So I want to make sure that does not happen.
Yeah.
And I want the tallest wrestler in the WWE to have that type of career other than the Great Khali thing. And I think we're going to find out soon. Because apparently on Raw, they're supposed to be on Miz TV. You know what happens with tag teams on Miz TV?
Man, right.
They start to have some issues. All right, man, you go ahead and close us out.
All right. Just real quick, somebody on the wrestling roster, I'm sure a lot of you would get that, especially with all the releases happening. I'm sure that one of you wrestlers would want Adam Bomb's expectations. Go back to that time frame and understand what I'm saying when I say that.
You know what's wild about that? And I got to find the article. I'm going to send it to you. But somebody wrote an article about how Adam Bomb possibly should have been a title contender around that time.
That was that. Hey, listen, because he was 29 or 30 in that Royal Rumble and didn't even make it to the Final Four. Yeah, man. Adam Bomb had high expectations. I don't know why either he didn't deliver or what, but yeah, they ixnayed that.
Yeah, I gotta find that article. Because I was like, wait a minute, this came out of nowhere. Like, this is wild. Hey, he look bad too. Yeah,
man.
Shit, drugs.
But hey, man, listen. We enjoy you guys. We enjoy you guys listening to the show, watching the show, viewing the show, however you choose to view it. Likes, comments, shares, comments, interactions, tags, postings, all appreciated. It's been another great year in 2021 as far as us creating content because, I mean, depending on how you look at this year, shit was kind of whack. But the First Black Champ podcast, hopefully we give you an hour or two out of each of your weeks to help you decompress, unwind, step away from all that real shit that's been going on. And we're going to continue to do that for a couple more episodes, man, as we get up out of here. And always remember, if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast. Camp. Bang. We are out.